cracking down on bad landlords who rent out unhealthy or in some cases unsafe properties. That's the focus of a bill that got a hearing in the State House this week. But it is running into some opposition from advocates for landlords who say this bill just goes too far. WRAL's Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie joining us live now from the state legislative building. So, Laura, where did this bill come from at this point?
It was filed by a first-term Republican from Elizabeth City. His name is Representative Mike Ward. And he said local officials in his district asked him to change the law to give them more power to go after landlords who rent out properties that don't meet health or safety codes. Ward is a landlord himself, and he's a retired law enforcement officer. He says over the years he's been inside some rentals. He said he wouldn't put a dog in. Sewage backups into sinks, sewer overflows, mold on the walls, holes in the walls or floors, appliances that don't work. Some of those violations are dangerous, but current state law doesn't always allow local officials to force landlords to fix them in a timely manner. And it's usually low-income people who have to live in those rentals. They may not have the money to move out or to take a landlord to court.
So what does Ward want to do about it? Tell us about this bill. How does he want to change the law?
Right. He wants to set up local registries for frequent flyers, essentially, properties that have histories of multiple health and safety violations that don't get fixed within 21 days. He said the owners would have to pay a fee to fund that program, and they'd be subject to more frequent inspections, possibly fines, maybe even liens on the property if they don't keep it up. He also wants to include properties that have a high incidence of crime on that registry.
Advocates for landlords, they're fighting this. In some cases, you could say the bill looks like it might be in a little bit of trouble. It didn't get a vote this week.
Yeah, some lawmakers said it would go too far. They said, it's not always a landlord's fault if a tenant commits a crime, and landlords are not the police. And they also said it's too broad. It could catch up landlords, for example, who just have minor violations like peeling paint or grass that's too long. Groups that represent realtors and rental unit owners, as you say, are also against it. They say the current law gives local officials enough power over landlords as it is, although they admit there are clearly some bad apples out there. Ward told me he'll keep working on this.
All right. Well, let us know what happens. Laura Leslie live at the state legislative building. Thanks, Laura.